Okay, get this. What if your shirt could actually listen to you? I don't mean listening to the air around you, I mean listening to you. Today, we're going to dive into a piece of tech that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. A fabric that turns your own clothes into a microphone. Let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're on a noisy street, yelling at your phone or your watch, just trying to get your voice assistant to do something super simple. It's so frustrating, and it really highlights a massive problem with how we talk to our devices right now. So here's the deal. Our current tech is all built around microphones. And, well, microphones have three huge flaws. One, they are terrible at picking your voice out from all the background noise. Two, they are major battery hogs. And three, they bring up that really uncomfortable privacy question. Are they always listening in? But what if we could just get rid of the microphone completely? Well, that's exactly the idea behind a 2024 breakthrough. It's a smart fabric that turns the clothes you're wearing right now into a super accurate, private, and get this, self-powered voice interface. Now, this is the really key shift in thinking. Instead of listening to the sound waves in the air, this fabric actually senses the tiny vibrations your vocal cords create, vibrations that travel right through your own body. It's not listening, it's feeling you speak. So how in the world does a piece of cloth pull that off? Well, it's this brilliant mix of material science and AI. Let's break down exactly how this thing works, from you speaking a word to it becoming a digital command. Okay, so the magic behind this is something called the triboelectric effect. And you already know what this is. If you've ever rubbed a balloon on your hair and made it stick to the wall, you've seen it. It's the exact same idea. This fabric has special fibers woven into it that generate their own electricity from the tiny little movements of your voice. It literally powers itself. And this just lays out the whole process perfectly. So first, the vibrations from your voice travel through you and hit the fabric. Second, those self-powering fibers turn those vibrations into little electrical signals. Third, and this part is genius, the way the fabric is actually woven acts like an acoustic filter, basically tuning out all the outside noise. And finally, a tiny AI chip right there on the shirt itself figures out what command you just gave. So how well does it actually work? Well, in tests they ran in an environment with 80 decibels of noise, that's as loud as a busy factory floor or a city street, it still got the command right 92.5% of the time. That is just incredible. Now, it's totally fair to be a little skeptical here. We've seen so many smart clothes fads come and go. So what makes this any different from everything else we've seen before? This table right here really shows you why this is such a huge leap forward. Just look at that column on the far right. Where your normal mic is terrible with noise and privacy, this fabric is amazing. Bone conduction headsets are pretty good with noise, sure, but they're bulky and you have to charge them. This is a soft, washable shirt. And the two biggest things, it's self-powered and it's private by design because of that on-device AI. Nothing's being sent to the cloud. It all happens right there on you. It is the best of all worlds. And that's really the bottom line. This is the first time a technology has solved all these problems at once. It's not just a little step forward. It's a completely different way of thinking about what a wearable interface can be. Okay, so the science is super cool. We've established that. But what's the big deal? Why does this actually matter? Well, let's imagine for a second what a world without microphones might look like and how this could literally change everything. I think the most powerful impact could be in healthcare. For people with certain disabilities or medical conditions, this isn't just about convenience. This could be an absolute lifeline. I mean, just imagine a shirt that can detect the tiny tremors in your voice that are early warning signs for a disease like Parkinson's. Or, and this is even more incredible, it could potentially sense the silent, unvoiced muscle movements in the throat of someone with ALS, allowing them to communicate when they otherwise couldn't. All right, now let's think about jobs where clear, hands-free communication can be the difference between life and death. Think about a soldier out in the field or a factory worker on a deafeningly loud production line. The ability to give a command to a drone or a piece of machinery without fumbling with a radio and without having to shout over all that noise, that is a complete game changer for safety and for getting the job done. Of course, no new tech is perfect right out of the box. So to really get the full picture, we have to talk about the challenges and, the potential downsides. So right now, there are three main hurdles. The AI on the shirt can only handle about 50 different commands, so it's not ready for natural conversation just yet. Also, really strong movements, like if you're out for a run, can sometimes create vibrations that confuse it. And finally, the cost to make it is still pretty high, about $50 per square meter. And this brings us to the biggest question of all, the ethical one. On one hand, you have the promise. This tech is built for privacy. No audio is ever recorded, and the AI does its work right on the shirt. But on the other hand, you have the peril. Without really strict rules, you can see how this could be turned into a tool for surveillance, letting an employer or a government monitor what you're saying. Now, to their credit, the inventors are completely aware of this dilemma. They keep emphasizing that they are building this with a privacy-first mindset, designing the whole system to collect as little data as possible from the very beginning. So, even with the challenges, the potential here is just enormous. Let's take a look at what the research team has planned for the next generation of this incredible fabric. And yeah, their roadmap is seriously ambitious. They're working on adding haptic feedback, so your shirt would give you a little buzz to let you know it got your command. They want to weave in other health sensors to create a full body monitoring suit, use biodegradable materials, and then there's the holy grail, expanding the AI so it can understand natural, continuous speech. When you add all that up, what they're really building towards is this powerful vision. It's not just a smart shirt, it's an intelligent second skin. A comfortable, totally invisible layer that's a natural bridge between our physical bodies and our digital lives. And all of that leaves us with one final fascinating question to chew on. When the line between our bodies and our tech starts to disappear, when our very clothes become our computers, who are we becoming? It's a future that's being woven as we speak. Thanks for tuning in.